Hey everybody, welcome back. Follow-up video on the Negasonic Unity event, orbs, milestones, whatever you want to call them. Man, these have been tough, huh? A lot of frustration surrounding this, whether it's how much it requires to blitz, the compensation that we got for the first day of bugs. I think that's pretty much it. Blitz spotters, which, by the way, today we got an announcement about, so that's not what this video is about, but hopefully that lowers the scores a bit. We'll see. I don't know if it will. So anyway, this is kind of the Are You on Track? This is where I'm at, where you're just kind of touch base video, okay? This is a hard event. I have not been perfect on it, but anyway, let's look at the spreadsheet. I'll talk through it a little bit. If you missed the other video where I took a deep dive into what I've got here, I advise going to check that out because I'm not going to do as deep of a dive on this one as far as how the spreadsheet's set up. Just going to talk about where I'm at, what do I need to do, and is it realistic or not. It's pretty quick and easy math if you really get to it, but I'll get behind some of it or get more into the detail of some of it if we're really feeling for it, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's go to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
Alright, so this is my giant spreadsheet. You know, you should already be done with the creative difference milestones or close to it, so I'm not even going to cover that at all. I did have an error in my last video where I had a 1 in front of my 2, so it was giving you 10 extra shards of that. You only get 40 shards there. So you will be about roughly 36 shards short of a 5-star, assuming you average about 2 on the Unity orbs for Negasonic. If you're any less than that, then this number of 36 falls short or grows higher, and you will fall short from getting that potential 5-star Negasonic, which means you probably have to buy at least one offer. The 6-star requirements, like I said before, that's still, 240 almost shards away from that, which means you need at least 2 of the offers, and you gotta hope for really good RNG from the orbs. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. One of the factors that we did talk about previously is the Verdronius fragments from Blitz that he used for Cyclops. It was around 91. The numbers we're seeing so far of this one have been a bit lower, but you know, those are still in flux, so I didn't want to touch that. I'm leaving it at 91.71 just to make sure I'm consistent. For the next milestone one, I'll probably shift it over to whatever we end up finding out from this one. A ton of people are tracking it, including myself, so we'll see how that shakes out. So where am I at? I'm at about 32 orbs to open, which is about 20,000 points for this. And you think, oh my gosh, look at this. He's already at 22 out of 30. He's almost done. Problem is you got to pay attention to the points. Do not get deceived in thinking you are almost done or you're going to make it no problem at this point, okay? The reason I say that is it's not about what milestone you're on. It's about how many points you've done versus how many are left. At that point, milestone 22 is about halfway through. So the real grind is in this last second half. So with it being in this last second half, you can see there's about 21,000 points left to get. And I'm at around 20,000, okay? And again, these columns, it's just about the orbs required to meet the milestones, how many fragments you're getting, what are left, etc., right? And then you really get over to the adjusted number of blitz wins needed and number of blitz wins needed from previous milestone. Originally here, this is this section that we're looking at where you, jumping around here, let's jump up. So this is really the section that you want to, be in from the beginning of the event. And again, it looks like I'm so close, but when you jump back over here and you look, you're like, wow, you're actually only about halfway. So everything I've done to date, I need to replicate that, essentially. And that's really, if you're going to take anything away from it, that's where I'm at. So if you are short of milestone 22, you're probably behind, okay? If as you started the Carnage Blitz. By the time you're seeing this, you're probably a rotation or 2 into the Carnage Blitz, or maybe even more if you're seeing it the next morning, if you're seeing it Friday morning. So you really need to make sure you're pushing 23, 25, as Friday kind of moves on, because otherwise you're keeping pace. So speaking of keeping pace, we're talking about blitz wins with days left. what I like to do is the tracking after the start over here. So I've got this kind of little formula. Zoom in a little bit. So tracking after start, points left to complete, simple formula there. Overall points from the last milestone minus where I'm at. The orbs required to meet that, I've divided specifically the points left to complete by, where is it at? The points that you get, right? 647, which I forget which content creator said it. I might have been OMG, I think, which he could really slam Fox next for saying, like, really 647? Can't you just make it easy and simple, like 95 orbs, you know, or something like that, or whatever the number is, you know, and it's 65, but his point's still taken, where it's kind of like, can't you make this a little bit easier, like 647? Like, okay. So anyway, I need about 33, I need 33 orbs, not 32.91, because it's not how it works. And then, you know, you break it down into fragments based on times 2,000, fragments coming from my milestones, from the Blitz, which is from my, from the Carnage Blitz milestones, and then, you know, how many you adjust the fragments, how many Blitz wins you need from there, and how do you figure that out? You take the orb fragments divided by the number that you're using for how many fragments you're expecting per win, which right now we're running with 91.71, which honestly I think is kind of high. I don't think that's actually, I'd probably lower it just a little bit just to make sure that you're safe there, okay? And then how many days I've got left? I've got about 3 days at this point of recording the video. So that means I need 225 Blitz wins per day to be able to finish. I'm thinking about that just in my head for a minute. I'm like, that's a ton of Blitz wins. 225? Honestly, like, I don't know. What's that break down to, right? We got to figure that out. That's what we got to look at. So let's do that. So ignore this section here. That's just for future. But right here, this section right here, this is what we're looking at. After Mr. Fantastic Blitz. So if I'm awake for 16 hours a day, my Blitz cooldowns, there were some questions about this. This just has to do with you being able to start Blitz up every, you know, hour and 45 minutes, not from start to finish, but if you got that cooldown overlap, right, where you're just smart about when you do it so you can actually replay it every, you know, hour and 70 or hour and 45 minutes. But ultimately, if you're hung up on that, don't be. Jump to the next thing, because regardless of where your math is, you're about 9 rotations a day, and that's what's important, okay? And then so from those 9 rotations a day, assuming you're up for 16 hours and blitzing every 1 hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours, however you want to shake it out, you do that potential rotations divided, or you got wins needed per day divided by those rotations. So you're talking about 24 wins a rotation, or 25 wins a rotation. Now that might be possible, depending if you're dropping down. But remember, if you're dropping down, that means you're using teams to drop down. So you might be tight there, right? So you've got to be smart about what you're using. So the next question for me is like, okay, is that doable? Like, how am I doing as far as being on pace? So if I need 24, 25 wins per rotation, and actually that says Viz, it really means Mr. F, right? So Mr. F, that was a copy from my last one. Apologies. You go and say, where was I before? And that's what I look at right here, okay? So let's get them both on screen. Let's get them both on screen. There we go. So this is where I was at before with 20. I needed 20 wins a day to be able to hit those milestones. Now I'm at 24, which means I'm behind pace, okay? That means I am not keeping up with what my original projections were showing. So I need to find a way to up my production, all right? Or at least, I mean, technically I need 25, but based on my previous pace, you know, I'm clearly not making it. So I need to pick it up just a little bit. I need to get more wins, or I need to make sure that I'm not missing my timers at all. Or maybe we'll get a little from Fox next and see if it gets extended. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have any inside information. I don't know for certain, but fingers can be crossed. A lot of upset people about this event, and let's be real, it's a unity event, right? So we should be unified in happiness around what's going on with this event. I'm fine with it being hard. I'm fine with Fox Next wanting to make some money off of it. If they don't want people, or if people who don't want to blitz, they want to spend money, fine. Okay, go buy your 65 orbs and be done with it. But you know, the other part is, you know, let's be happy about what we're getting. If I grind and I fall short, man, that's gonna be upsetting, really upsetting. So like I mentioned in my other video, it's like we either unify in the happiness for completing the event, or we're probably gonna unify with our pitchforks and go to Reddit or wherever and complain to Fox Next about how they keep making the game harder and harder. which I don't know. Certain modes fine, but in every game mode, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So anyway, that's what I got to say about that. You know, if they do extend it, I think if you've been grinding decently, you're probably going to make it. If they don't extend it, we got work to do. I'm part of that group, all right? So keep blitzing, keep trying. You know, don't get too frustrated. If this is, you know, causing you stress in your day, it's not worth it. Everybody just, you know, for a few more mini uniques to finish Dark Dimension or get a T14, it's a lot of effort, guys. A lot of effort. So, you know, don't you know, strain yourself trying to reach those milestones. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Links to the Discord below in the general description. Hammer down a like button, subscribe, notification bell, all that goodness. Share with your alliance mates, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.